Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Building with BdoubleO. I'm glad you're back. Thanks so much for coming. We're gonna talk about some things today. Some different things. There's gonna be some changes today. And change is always so frustrating, isn't it? When there's change, it's like, I was comfortable. I was happy. Things were good. Why you gotta go do that to me, B-dubs? Why you gotta do me like that? Yeah, I gotta do you like that. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Last episode, we made this beautiful... Oh, I've been meaning to do this, by the way. This was driving me crazy last episode. And the whole episode, I was like, yep. Gotta get this, gotta take care of this. And never did. Finally. You know what, though? I turned that brightness down, and it is very dark. I like moody, though. You're going to notice some things. Do you notice something? If you're colorblind, if you have color blindness, this is not mocking you. A lot of men, actually, suffer from even a slight color blindness. But there's something different over there in there. And we'll talk about that a little later. But we made this bathroom, this public restroom, which I like a lot. I think it worked out pretty decent, pretty nice. Never filled those with water. But the pros and cons of being inspired in Minecraft. Let's start off talking about that. I've hit a level of inspiration in this game that I haven't had in quite some time. I've got one project idea, and then that turns into another and another and another, and I've got currently probably 5 or 6 project ideas backed up in my head. So I think that means we're going to be doing some more streaming on Building with BdoubleO, because the YouTube video upload system is not strong enough to handle the amount of B-dubs that I want to bring to you guys at the moment. We've got our field. Let's do a little update. We've got our field. We had our villager. He was destroying our field. You can see the light green path that he dug through there. It's regrowing. Thank God he replanted. But he is dead now because he ain't supposed to be touching that. And there ain't no librarian got any business getting up in my wheat field that I created painstakingly for 4 hours and coming up in my business. This is my business. You stay out of there, you crazy fool. And now you're a zombie. And a zombie that I struck down and killed you with fire of the sunlight fire. So he's gone. But these things. Now this one, I at the very beginning of the episode, I made a little change there. But I think we're better off like that. These things, they're so good. They're so good, these trapdoors. You know, we made a little edit to the trapdoors, but another nice way of doing this is like a so. Or even like a so. So they're on the outside, right? Pretty cool. So you could do it like this, and once I get it done, you'll see. Ooh, crazy. It's another level of depth added there. Kind of cool. Kind of like it. Like a window like this doesn't need 2 shutters. Not necessary in the least bit. So some of them we could have open. Some of them we could have closed. And that wouldn't cover the whole window, obviously. And obviously, when we close it, we don't have trapdoors that run this way. You could, with some different texture packs and whatnot, in 1.7, you could create a half door that could serve that purpose. But so we could do that around here and there. Like this one's not necessary. Kind of originally put them in for symmetry reasons, but those symmetry reasons are kind of not necessary. And I think they almost overpower things a little bit in some places. But I'm almost feeling like this village is going to get an overhaul. Yeah, I said it. And here's why. Okay? I recently started digging into Lynchy Inc.'s channel again. LYNCHYINC. I originally was inspired by him years ago watching some of his steampunk builds and what he does with some steampunk buildings. And he's uploading a lot more frequently now. I believe he's in college or university or something like that. So it's a little difficult, but he's uploading a lot more. And he uploaded a video about interiors, which I liked on Twitter. And I do recommend, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you really should, because I do. There's a lot that you can see there. I don't spam you full, but you get little previews of what's coming up schedule wise, or sometimes I'll tweet some ideas that I have in Minecraft. So some of this, those of you that follow me on Twitter, some of you already know what I'm about to get into later. But yeah, follow me there for some of that info. But Lynchy Inc. Uploaded a video on Minecraft house interiors. And so in a creative world, I just started messing with some house and some interiors. And with some of his ideas, it did some really amazing things to the houses. It did bring just no villagers, no multiplayer, no nothing, but having a really well done interior to a house is very, very, adds a lot of dynamic life and interest to a village. Even just sitting back and looking and knowing that there's a structurally sound interior to a building is very valuable. Very valuable. So I think some of these houses might get a redo. Possibly. I'm just kind of talking about some of the things that we may be doing today, because I've got so much in my head. I'm just talking it out loud to you, and I'm just going to flow with whatever feels good. Also, within those interiors, I want to use bookshelves more frequently. Not everywhere, not all the time, but just more frequently. And it's one of the nicer detail blocks in vanilla, but it's seldom used because it's hard to make that freaking thing, man. You need 3 books, which requires 3 leather and paper. Or no, 1 leather and paper. Either way, it's an expensive craft. So my thought was make a library, and in that library have the resources necessary to be able to kind of mass craft bookshelves, cows and reeds, namely. But that's a thought. I think that'll have to wait for another day, though. But plan on that in the future. Here's the main thing we want to talk about. So this is not the shape. Okay, I think we are going to not have it leaning. We're just going to have it straight. If you look closely, which we will, you can notice something with this texture here. Okay, be very observant, human. Be very observant. This right here, all of this inside here, all that outside is cobblestone, but this inside, every one of those blocks is just a normal stone brick. Just a regular normal stone brick. So you know, I've been messing around with texture packs a little bit. Not texture packs, but just the textures in game. And I really like the feel of vanilla, the vanilla 16 by 16 textures. And I think it's definitely a huge accomplishment if you can use these textures and make something look good. It's a lot easier to make things look good in a higher res texture pack. That's for sure. So you guys kind of challenged me to do that. If I were just to play by myself, I'd play in like a John Smith type texture pack or something like that, a medieval 32 by 32. Because I think those look the best and they're the most fitting for my style. But I like the challenge of making the vanilla work. So in my texturing, in my messing with the resources and whatnot, I'm kind of trying to stick as close to that as possible. So let me talk to you about this. I posted a poll on Twitter about this, and 79%, about 80% of people said they like it. The other percent said they do not like it, which in turn means they are not artistic. No, I'm kidding. But so let's talk about what's going on here. We have multiple different types of blocks mixed in with this stone brick. So right there, let's zoom in real close again. This one here, this is a normal stone brick, right? Now this is a stone brick with just a little notch cut out there and a little notch cut out there and a little mini crack right there. So that's two variants of the stone brick. And I think that's passable. I think that's safe. And I could pretty much guarantee 100% of people will be cool with that. Even though there's a cracked stone brick, this is like a midway. Then there's this one. And this is more like your normal brick texture. What I actually did is I took this one right here and I scaled it down to 1/4 of the size. So this brick is actually right here. Can you see that? And then I put it here, here, and here. And just made some little changes to give it some detail and some life. So it is actually the vanilla Minecraft brick, but just on a smaller scale. Personally, for myself, I like it. I like the fact that it's different. It adds variation without me having to have an inventory full of different blocks. Right? It makes the building progress and the building process a lot easier. You can get an interesting looking build without going super, super crazy. And I don't think this is necessarily breaking the game. Now, some people said, all right, so that's interesting. And here's the thing. You can't decide what block is what. Like, for example, this right here, this block, every single time will be that texture. No matter how many times I place it, it will be that texture. And there's no tool, there's nothing that can change that because it's coordinate based. It's based on the coordinate. So in that spot, that block's going to appear. I can change the weight. I can change the frequency of how often certain blocks appear. And I can maybe give you an example of that because I messed with the actual stone texture as well. So, hello, skeleton archer, standing guard by the tree. Get a life. Get a freaking life. Boy, we're running long early here. I'm going to have to do a lot off camera to impress you with some building, aren't I? But yeah, so, I mean, you see these buildings here, I used a lot of cracked and a lot of mossy to keep it interesting. But what I was saying, right, those are all coordinate based. So what if I wanted to make a stone brick pillar, right? And have it all be stone brick. I can't. Because that's always going to be that, and that's always going to be that. It's always going to have different textures. But there's still that control with this. I haven't changed the half slab texture. So half slabs or slabs can give you just a solid stone brick texture. Stairs the same way. So I put it to you. I'd like to discuss this with you. Again, I want to keep it very vanilla, and the nice middle ground will be just add more stone bricks with different little variations to them. Scrap the whole small brick and call it good. You know, the small brick one. Maybe that's too much for everybody. For me, I like it. I think it adds a lot of detail without having to do a lot of work. Saves a lot of time. And looks-wise, I think it looks the best. But, oh, get wrecked. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. Okay, here's the last thing. See if we can find an example. This stone here. It's hard to tell. That's a different color. That's a different color. That's a different color. There's 3 different shades of stone. I've made 3 different shades of stone in here. And I did that because stone is not the same color in the world. There is no stone in this planet that is all the exact same color. You'll never find it. Well, unless it's like manufactured stone, right? You go out in nature, you look at it, something that's stone, blah, blah, blah. It's all going to be, there's going to be some variation and difference. And it's subtle, but I think it works. I think it helps out a lot, especially when you're looking at a landscape with like a lot of stone. Look at how it's just a little slight shade different. There is one, this is where I want to talk about coordinate-based stuff. There is one, this guy. Little bit of a notch out of the corner of that one, and he shows up 1 every 1,000 stone blocks. They're right next to each other. That's too good. There's another one there. So they're rare, but I mean, there's a lot of stone down here, so you might see them from time to time. That's the only one that I'm a little about. I could remove it, but at the same time, I kind of like it. So yeah, I'm working on this thing, and I'd kind of like to have it be something that could be available to you guys at some point. So that's why I present it to you for your feedback. But really today, I want to work on interior design and kind of show you some of this stuff that Lynchy Inc. has taught me, that I've been inspired by. So what I think I'm going to do now off camera is I'm going to demo at least this house right here. At least this one. And maybe the whole city. But if I were to redo that, we so out of food in every way. If we were to redo this city, I'd say minimum house size would be 7 by 9. And then work from there. But we may work with what we got. So anyway, I'm going to try to find a way to eat food again. And I will be back with you, hopefully with some cool progress. Just doing a little frost walking, no big deal, just frost walking. What are you doing? Not frost walking? That's too bad. I frost walk. I frost walk, baby. But take a look at something for me, okay? This is kind of where these textures, especially with the stone, in nature really look really nice, in my opinion. Look at how it's all different. Like, obviously there's shadows and stuff, but then there's another added bit of depth with all the different colors. You know? I think that is really nice. It's just Google stones. Google something. Just Google something. And it'll tell you, hey, nice. I grabbed this sword, just chilling. But man, these stone walls with this added texture to it, added color, really, really looks very, very nice, in my opinion. Hopefully, I really hope you do agree, because it's something that I don't plan on going back on. Like, look at that. It's not just boring plain. It actually makes it feel more realistic. And we're still in Minecraft. We just got little shade differences on those. So I think it's good. I think it's good indeed. Yes, yes, yes. B-Dubs likes a lot. All right. More traveling. I travel more. That sound is so weird. It sounds like I'm punching cardboard box. And today might be a longer episode for you. Hope you're okay with that. I know you are. Okay. This building, I've just got a structure up, and it's fairly plain at the moment. It's following the style. It's a similar style. I don't know the name of this style, but, you know, stone on the sides. The roof doesn't overhang. The roof is actually inside. And as of right now, the way I tried adding detail on the outside is by using some leaves and kind of acting like there's some overgrowth and stuff, but it might be a little too much. We'll just see. And I think as we kind of go here, we'll be able to add more detail to this as we go along. But another reason why I wanted to make this house a little bigger and potentially make some of these other houses a little bigger is because somebody in the comments mentioned, they said, bathroom's the biggest freaking building in the city. That doesn't make any sense, does it? The comment does. The actual thing that happened with the bathroom being bigger than the biggest building in the city, that doesn't make sense. So I went with a little gradient of mossy on the bottom, which gives a little darker effect, up to stone brick on the top. So let's talk interiors. This is kind of what I learned from Lynchy, all right? And some other things from B-dubs. But inside, I think for older buildings, what we want to do is we want to use dark colors, especially if you're dealing with wood on interiors. I'm not sure how this is and how this works across the board, but I feel like any old building that I've been in, the wood color is very, very dark. And I don't know if this is relative to this, but I remember when I was buying my guitar and really into guitars, people told me that guitar is going to get darker with age, and it actually has. When I first got it, it was like a light yellow color. Now it's like a yellowy brown. It's getting some reds in it. The wood is just kind of aging and getting a little darker. So I feel like as wood, I don't know if it's the lacquer that's on it or what, but as wood ages, it gets darker. And you get this smell. Have you ever been in like an old building, an old castle, or a really old house? There's this kind of musty old smell. So just think about that as you're in this building here and as we're working this thing out. So tight quarters, we're going to have a hard time making this really interesting, but we'll make it as interesting as we can. So first off, and this is something from Lynchy, and I think it's a brilliant idea, is you want to get some detail in the roof. Right off the bat. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that could be good. Possibly. We'll see. We might move that over. What if it was here? Well, we'll see. So we've got that log, but I wanted to try this one because I like the way the oak log blends with the spruce in the vanilla. I think it blends really, really well. It's very interesting, but there's also dark oak. And if we're going to go darker, you know, darker colors, I could certainly do the trick, couldn't it? It could. Something like that. Okay, some timbers. That's how you add some interest to your roof. You could leave it open, give it sort of like an unfinished attic-y sort of feel, or you could pop some half slabs up there to give it like a depth, right? Workbench, boom. Could go with, actually, since we're going with this dark wood feel, could go this route as well. Possibly. We're going to try out a couple things on camera, and then I'm going to keep rolling without you. Like that. And since we got a little bit of spruce showing there, as you build like this, you'll kind of just notice some little problems, and you adjust and fix along the way. And that's how you get interesting little character pieces. Right? Boom, boom. So that's interesting. Interesting enough for my taste. I like it. I like it. Boom, 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 boom. And we've got an upstairs here. We could even work in a little bit of an attic space, possibly. Sleep time. Sleep time, quickly now. We don't want to get snuck up on by any creepers or anything of the such. That would be very bad. All right, back out into our place. Notice there's no windows. I'm thinking it's best to do windows from the inside out. Inside out with the windows, possibly. Let's go like this now. Kind of divide this thing up. Maybe like this. Door right here. Yes, so that's going to be a small room, but so what he did, and I really encourage you to check it out, but you just cordon it off. When you first walk into a house, unless you're walking into the back door, you don't usually walk into a small hallway. You're usually walking into a bigger open area, so we'll have that. And then this will be a bit of a hallway action. We could even bring this out to here. I wonder if that'll add some more love and character to it. It's having a one wide there. Maybe. We'll see. These are the decisions I'll make off camera. Some back and forth on that. On the decision making there. But, so we've got that. And then we can just kind of build in. Ooh, okay, this is nice. We can kind of build in our framework a little bit. Bam. Right? And do we want this for the walls? Maybe. Maybe. It's a little on the red side, but it's not bad. It's not, I'm not hating it. It's dark, but it could work. Okay, cool. So we've got something now. We've got something. We've got an entrance area. We've got a little hallway here. That's pretty cool. So now that we've got this structure in place, we go through and we'll just decorate it up. So I'm going to spend a lot of time. This is where a ton of hemming and hawing is going to come into place. But actually, before I do that, now that we've got these rooms kind of laid out, we can do some things. We can kind of go like window right here, you know, maybe as you walk in, maybe in this bedroom, there's a window like here. Could be a cool place for a window, possibly. A window, a too tall window here. And even though we're cutting into the roof, showing the roof there a little bit, that's not so bad. I ain't hating that. Come out of here, boom, window there, chest. It's okay, we can try to make that one too tall as well. So now that we've got our layout kind of situated, we can kind of see how we want the windows to go. Could even put a window there eventually if we wanted to. But then, you know, I in the past I've worked backwards. I've made the windows and I've forced the interior to work around the windows that I have. But I don't think that's a good way to go. I think to do the exact opposite. You know, work out your outside, or work out your inside, your interior, your rooms, and then give them windows, and it'll give you a nice random window situation on the outside. We could put some up there too. But anyway, I'm going to get working some more. Hopefully when we come back, we'll have a nice little finished product. A beautiful sunset. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful sunset. Let's go to sleep, but let's go to sleep in our house. Blech. Garbage house. I get impatient with my sleeping sometimes. Okay. You guys are going to freaking love this. If you don't, you are officially not an artist. If you like it, official artist. It's official. You are an artist then. But only if. If you don't like it, you can't be an artist. It's not allowed anymore. So, check it. Remember how we left this thing off, right? So we did our windows from the interior. Now, I've put little hatches and stuff around. Thank you so much. Serge or Grum or Jeb. Whoever did this, man, thank you so much. You've changed my life with this. My life, it used to be a bad life. Now I have a good life, thankfully. Don't tell my family. But, so we're sticking with the same design, just larger scale. Up top, Up top, we've got that little opening there so you can see into the roof with some shutters on either side. Now that's 3 wide, so they wouldn't reach all the way, but we ain't gonna tell nobody. Don't tell anybody about it, okay? So, here's the outside. It's a little on the overgrown side, but this is just testing out a theme. Whether we stick this theme here or not, I don't know. We'll see. But I even managed to get some windows up in the attic space and to add depth to these walls because they are pretty, they're flat. 2D. You know, it's just one layer. So that adds depth to them. This adds depth to the walls, and this adds depth to the walls. So without actually making the structure ginormous, I'm adding some depth to the walls with some other things available to us. So we've got all this going. A little window with a bush covering it there. That's fine. That's okay. That's cool. And here's our entrance. Quaint and gorgeous and beautiful, isn't it? And the roof just kind of continues on down. Not a fancy, dancy, prancy porch. We could even, we could even go like that and try to round this off. And it might make it look a little more separate from the rest of the thing. I actually like the other way better. I like the way it looked with like the roof kind of just continuing down from the top. For this type of style of house, I think it works. So, I mean, these little things, I'm trying to prove it to you. They add texture, depth, and detail. It's very easily and simply. So, some cobblestone walls just to kind of separate it out. Let's go on in. This is where things kind of blow up and get exciting. So you go in, bam. Come on now. Come on now. You've got a little hat rack here. Hang your hats on. Underneath this piece of carpet down there is a piece of glowstone. So that lights this area up. Mob spawn safe. Survival friendly to plus. And thanks to, these are amazing too. You can do a ton of stuff with these guys, but thanks to the ability that this will fall and rest on any block height, half slabs or anything. It's very unique in the game in that way. Like an anvil will fall, but it'll land right here, I believe. These will land wherever you put it, no matter what height. This is a crazy height. It's 1/16 of a block. Lands right on it beautifully. Unfortunately, click, 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 click. Can't put anything above it. So that's okay. It's good like that, though. Ideally, I'd have a half slab there, but I'm just going to sacrifice that and be cool with it. There's a little seating area. Sit down, take your shoes off, take your hat off, hang it on up, right? A chest, put your stuff in on some shelves, right? And a little desk, pot, flower pot, little, who knows what this is. You won't use your imagination right now. Use it. Oh, okay. It's a book. Cool. All right, fine. I believe you. Drapes. Drapes for the window on either side of the window with the banners here. A lot of different designs. There's the stripes, which end up looking kind of like a shower curtain. So I'm not in love with that. Ideally, what I think we'll end up doing is in these houses, maybe we'll kind of have, once we get our colors together for our different kingdoms and stuff, each place will kind of have their drapes, rugs, or flags, or banners around their house, kind of pledging their allegiance to one side or the other. We'll have a place out there, maybe, a place over there, some different kingdoms and whatnot. So you can kind of pledge your allegiance through some of the colors you use in your house. So that's cool. Little bush here in the corner. And for the windows, I went with these are white windows. The clear ones are a little bit too high contrasty for me. Like the white in the clear glass really shines. So this is dulled down a little bit and looks a little better in my opinion. I would recommend going that direction if I were you. I wonder, actually, let's test something together, shall we? Oh, we don't have it. It's just for our sake right now. It almost makes it look like a little seat in front of that, doesn't it? Let's leave it. More depth. Beautiful. Little painting there. possibly of the king, possibly of Wells Glazes, possibly. And you come down this way, and here's a hallway. Oh, Lynchy, I hope you see. I learned, baby, I learned. Hallways, man. Hallways feel so good. It feels so nice. But got a little hallway with bookshelves, a little shelf on top of that. Kind of pushed up against this window, but not blocking it. You can see the very top of it there. Little bush with a bonsai tree chilling, taking it easy. You could even put that there. Little piece of parchment, gray parchment for writing on with white ink. And a rug. Green rug here. And this is wool. This is a green carpet. Wool, green carpet. Just makes it look furled up a little bit. And then we've got this last little space here. Hey, am I all out of stairs? What? Am I all out of the thing? I think I am all out of stairs. Did I use the last one? Don't. Okay, good. My brain is not broken. It works flawlessly. Possibly another seat at the end there. That works. All right, we got a little bedroom door here, and here's our bedroom. Bunk beds, chilling. Little poster, maybe a video game type poster, right? That there. We could put a book in there, actually, but I just put flowers, like a little floral painting, whatnot. Chest to put all your stuff in. Bam. Piece of jungle wood collected. And a little light up top. I don't know. It's okay. I don't love the glowstone texture, but we could figure out something to do with that or leave it. And then a ladder here, an access to the attic with a little trapdoor hatch there, and you got some wheat and possibly some clothes strewn about, and a nice lookout out to the keep that'll eventually be over there. So kind of cool indeed. I like it very much. So you can kind of see the idea that Lynchy has, and I really do recommend, like, I'll put a link in the description, but a lot of times people are watching on devices that don't really make that very easy. So if you just YouTube Lynchy Inc. Lynchy. Lynchy, hold up. I for real need to look this up before I do anything. Lynchyinc. Just Google that or search it on YouTube on your television or whatever device you're using, and just look for his interior design video. Give some great tips. And now this house, like, it doesn't feel out of place at all. It sets in really nice, and it just feels good inside. And this doesn't take very long, especially once you get your materials that you plan on using. Feels good. Some other things that we can do, especially with this house style, is on another house we could build out a little bit of a chimney here going up. And when you walk in, your entrance, instead of all this conglab, you get a nice, beautiful fireplace here. And you can make them bigger, smaller. I would say this would be the smallest size we do. But, yeah, that's it. That's it, and that's all for right now. I'm in love with this, though. I think it looks really nice. We could do some added extra stuff to get detail on that roof. But honestly, it's the last thing you're going to really pay attention to as you're walking through this place. You're going to see it, and you're going to know this is a cool little place. No question. But anyway, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to call it here for today. We're all done, I think. We're going to watch the sun go down beautifully through the window. Thank you guys so much, though. I'm really interested in your feedback in the comments. I know some people aren't going to like it. Some people think my style's too busy and too cluttered. And that's your prerogative. You're allowed to not be a good artist. I'm just playing. But we're going to call it here, okay? Leave a million likes. 1 million or more, okay? Love you to death, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. Wait. Still leave 1 million likes, okay? Still leave 1 million likes, but there's one last little piece, okay? I like this. This is going to add some feel, all right? So we put a sign above the door. It's going to say, Home. Sweet home. Villagers aren't very educated, you know, so home sweet home. Beautiful. Okay, goodbye now.